One might say that the U.S. Virgin Islands are like the Caribbean for dummies. Incredibly low barrier access, everyone speaks American, and there's no fumbling of foreign currencies and math to bother you while you're away. The USVI is a group of islands to the southeast of Puerto Rico that also happen to be an unincorporated and organized territory of the United States. The trendy archipelago consists of the main islands of St. Croix, St. John, and St. Thomas, with a spattering of minor islands throughout. The islands were slammed by Hurricane Irma and Maria in 2017, relentless Category 5 storms that left both the residents and the economy battered and bruised. The Army Corps of Engineers is still cleaning up the mess left behind by Maria and Irma, but like the lignum vitae, or ironwood tree, that form the skeleton of their historic city centers, the islands have proved to be resilient and are finally open for business, with cruise ships and luxury yachts floating into harbor once again, and flights from international hubs that include Orlando. Spirit Airlines' new direct flights offering to St. Thomas launched this November to fanfare and steel drums, with Bungalower in attendance for the inaugural service, giving us a chance to rub elbows with the locals and see if there is anything we could hashtag bring to Orlando to make us a stronger city. While generally offering a robust offering of hotels, the major outlets are still rebuilding after the storms, but more interesting options like Airbnb and charter boat rentals are booming. Renting a modest catamaran with 3 to 5 rooms can run you about $1,200 to $3,000 depending on the length of your stay, and often come with your own private chef. Regional ingredients flavor the menus of local hotspots and pepper the tourist dining experience with a side of history and cultural 101, with aromatic dishes like callaloo soup and conch fritters at Gladys Cafe, award-winning ribeyes at Mafuli Restaurant, to the ubiquitous saltfish and coconut rum cake. Do yourself a favor and book a guide like Gerard Sperry from St. Thomas Food Tour to give you the highlights. That way, you can just focus on chewing and walking and leaving the decision-making to the professionals. Entrepreneurs, like the Tap Room on St. John, are pushing the local narrative with fresh, locally brewed beers and custom energy drinks like the Green Flash that are offered at venues across the islands. Social justice inclined shops like My Brother's Workshop in St. Thomas are taking youth off the streets and providing them with on-the-job training in the hospitality industry, talents that can be used at local big-name hotels and on private yachts once they've honed their craft. More touristy offerings like Mountain Top allow you to shop for garish neon sweaters and knickknacks while downing one of the tastiest banana daiquiris you've ever had. They've served over 7 million, so you know they're good. Driving is an experience where those clinging white-knuckle to the wheel can be heard mumbling the island mantra, buckle up and keep left, into their chests. So if you're not a cool cucumber on brick roads back home, be sure to look into hiring a driver before trying to brave the steep, winding roads of the island on your own. Regular ferry service runs between the islands, and once you're there, you can hop on a safari truck, a retrofitted Jeep or pickup with seats in the back that are perfect for four-wheeling up into the mountains of state parks like in St. John and dropping you off on private beaches with delicious names like Cinnamon and Coral. Above all this, the best part of the islands are the people, a mix of eccentric mainlanders who've abandoned the hustle and bustle of the big cities to the north in favor of a smoother island pace and the locals who wear their history and culture with pride, as they should. Things work here, albeit a bit slower than back home, and the after effects of last year's storms are a renewed sense of purpose and community in the face of common obstacles, namely aging infrastructure and a lack of support from the federal government. Despite those roadblocks, the islands are ripe for investment and already bouncing back with vigor, much like the millions of papaya trees that popped up in the months following the storm. All of this and more await you in the U.S. Virgin Islands, which, now thanks to Spirit Airlines, is less than a 3-hour flight away. The best part? You don't even need a passport. Just grab your swimming shorts, your charge card, and your license and take off for a weekend without looking back. Stay tuned for more low-barrier trip ideas out of the City Beautiful with Bungalower as your guide.